So what we have here is we've got our 6 column forms all ready to go. We've actually cut some short pieces of rebar to go into each footing. Normally these would have a curve to them to help lock into the concrete, but because we have to take this thing all apart at some point here, we're just trying to make it a little easier for us down the road. So we made just straight pins that are going to go in here after we pour. Mr. Dorothy and I mixed up 2 bags of concrete.
P&D, today's P&D concrete. You know, you guys can all figure that one out. Should be easy enough. But one of the things we were talking to Professor Emmer about earlier for you to take a look at and work is to determine the amount of concrete we're going to need at different stages of this project. So off the top, we have 6 pads, and each of the pads are 12 inch by 12 inch by 3.5 inches. So we want you to take a look to determine how many bags of Quikrete, if you will, we'll use that brand, it takes to fill these pads. So you're going to have to do some investigation in order to determine that volume or number of bags that are needed. So we've actually already mixed it up here, so we're going to start pouring it in place.
These are 80-pound bags of concrete. So what you guys need to do is find how many cubic feet are in each bag of concrete. You can find that information online. Go right to the Quikrete website. You need to find out how many cubic feet are in each bag and how much concrete we're going to be mixing here for this whole project. So we're going to start filling these forms and we'll get to it. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my magnesium float, and I've also got a mallet here. I really need to get it down into those corners. You don't want any honeycombing. You don't want any voids. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take this 2x4, run it back and forth here. I'm just going to screed off our footing. Now that we've got our footing pretty well leveled off, we're going to do what's called wet setting. We're going to set our rebar in after we pour the concrete. Typically, all the rebar is going to be in place when you pour, so it's important to use a concrete vibrator to get in and make sure the concrete consolidates around the rebar. Here, what we're going to do is, like I said, called wet setting. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the center. Now, we can do it with these small footings, but a quick reference is you can kind of make a line corner to corner. Might be hard to see on the camera, corner to corner again. I've got an X now going through that concrete, very light, so it gives me, pretty much center. And all I'm going to do is, as I'm setting the rebar, I'm going to shake it a little bit to make sure the concrete consolidates around it. make sure rebar is vertical. And that's it. So then once this is dry, we'll peel the plywood off, rebar will stay. Now we have a rebar pin coming up so we can set our column form on our footing. So we're going to go ahead and complete this process for these other remaining 5 footings.
Just one thing about all the steel reinforcement or the rebar that goes into this particular lab, that's truly a design aspect. It's not something typically construction managers do or manage. It's usually an engineered specification, where the steel goes, how much steel goes, and all that sort of information, the height, you know, lots of different things goes into reinforcement. We're just using this steel bar to kind of connect the pad to the column and more securely. So, again, we'll finish up this up and then we'll probably do a short segment to show you the